For today's LeetCode daily LeetCode challenge, I chose this easy two-sum problem. It's very famous problem in LeetCode platform. The link of this LeetCode problem will be provided below. Check and try yourself. Let's start. Here we are provided nums and targets. We have an array called nums and target integer. We're supposed to add two of these numbers, and as a result it must be equal to target. As we see, if we add these two elements placed index 0 and 1, these elements are 2 and 7, then it will be equal to target 9. Let's try to code. 2 plus 7, it will be our nums. Then we write this condition: if nums equal to target, return target is found, else return target is not found. As we see, nums equal to target. What about 2 plus 8? Target is not found. 2 plus 8 is 10, which is not equal to the target 9. Now let's code the algorithm using the elements from the nums array provided above. First, we assign the length of this nums list. We must be ensure that the last element in the list, nums n minus 1, is not included in the outer loop, which makes sense because there wouldn't be any subsequent elements to pair it with. We should avoid redundant pair checks. It must not check the same pair of indices more than once, and ensures that each element is paired with elements that come after it in the list. Let's check this n minus 1. The length is 3. Let's check the length of the original nums array. The length is 4. Let's comment out this line and start the looping array. The first outer loop is for I in range, and the second inner loop is for in range I, which from the first outer loop, and length of the original array. Then we can check if 2 plus 7 from these indexes equals target. Then return the indexes, which are I from the outer loop and j from the inner loop. Else return target is not found. Now it returns 0, 0. It's not using the actual elements from the nums list, so let's work on it. So first, let's uncomment this n-1 line, or in other words, original length minus 1. Original length minus 1, which is used to avoid redundant pair checks. What's more, we need the next element of the current element from the outer loop, which is I plus 1. Of course, it still returns 0, 0, because we are not using the actual elements from the nums list yet. This I and j are not the indexes of the actual elements from the nums list yet. By the way, I forgot using the next element here in the iteration. So now, in order to use the actual elements from the nums list, we take nums and i's index of the nums and j's index of the nums. Now these I and j return actual elements or indexes from the nums list. As we see, it's 0 and 1, which means 2 and 7 are stored in these indexes. Let's change the target number to 8 and test the algorithm. As we see, the returned target is not found, but in the LeetCode question, we are asked to return just empty list instead of string, if it is empty. Let's check again. It returned 1 and 0, which means 2 and 7 elements are stored in these indexes. And now we can change the target again to see how it works. Now we see it returned the empty list. What's more, it's maybe working perfectly now when we iterate through the original array, but it's recommended to use original length -1 in order to avoid going out of bounds when accessing elements in the list. It means the loop will iterate with I taking values from the index 0 and 1 and 2. Let's test it again. It works. The last thing we can do now is cleaning the code a little bit. We can place n-1 instead of this assigned variable, and we could take this I+1, which means next element, to the inner loop iteration part. We can try again. It is still working the same, which is fine.